Welcome to the class. So today we are almost at the end of the chapter number 2 of your history, from trade to territory. Okay. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic of your chapter, that is what? Doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse was introduced by a British Governor General. His name was Lord Dalhousie. He was into his powers of office between 1848 to 1856. The doctrine of lapse said that if any of the Indian local ruler dies, yeah, ruler, I should use the word, dies without his or his or her real son, then that territory, that kingdom will automatically be transferred to Britishers. He can't, that king neither can't adopt a son on his behalf. Okay, the next person who should be the king of the territory after his death, he should be his real son. He can't keep an adopted boy on his behalf. That empire would be annexed to the Britisher side. It would be lapsed to the Britisher side. That's why it was named as doctrine of lapse. Doctrine means a rule, a theory. Lapse means something being taken away. Okay, I am repeating it again. If any king dies without leaving behind his successor, a male successor, then the territory would be annexed and left by the Britishers. Adopted king, adopted boy will not be applicable in this case. Okay. So what were the territories which were being annexed through this principle? The territory of Satara in 1848, the territory of Sambalpur in 1850s, the territory of Udaipur, Rajasthan in 1852, territory of Nagpur in 1853, and territory of Jhansi in 1854 were annexed in the same way. This was a very huge setback for the Indian kings and queens. By the way, the Britishers took away, snatched away their territories. And it also became one of the major reasons for the revolt of 1857, the first war of Indian independence. Now, we will see what changes did British administration did in their scenario. Warren Hastings in year 1773 to 1785, what he did was he implemented some big changes in India. He made these three provinces as the major provinces: the Bengal, the Madras, and the Bombay. These were considered as the main center of powers, the main presidencies, around which the British was ruling their entire territory. Justice system was also revived in year 1772. Of course, before this Warren Hastings, justice system was divided into two type of courts, two type of judiciary system. Two courts were there. One was criminal court and one was civil court. Criminal court was being taken care by a person designated as Qazi, who was giving the judgments, okay, like a modern day judge. And civil courts were being carried out by muftis, okay, yeah, rather you can say collectors also, modern day collectors also. Fine. Then further in the administration, DM was made as the central head of the district. DM was having entire power that were related to the districts, means he had full autonomy. After that, in next scenario, we are just going through this chapter. That company made a changes in the army as well. They appointed sepoys. Sepoys were the soldiers which were Indian born, means Indian soldiers were hired in their army by the name of sepoy. Apart from that, British army also introduced some more technical things, some more protective uh, you know guards for their army, like muskets and matchlocks, for making their army more stronger. Fine. And the uniform system was also introduced, means army has to wear a similar type of uniform according to their, as per their rank. So my dear student, this is the main crux of the chapter, the trade to territory, which was being remaining. I think we are finished with the chapter till now. Conclusion, we will do the reading by our own. And still, if you have any queries, you are free to discuss it with me. Thank you and have a nice day.